All right, on the bench today, out of a 2006 Jaguar XJ8 with 4.2, this is not a supercharge, we have the ZF6HP26. So what's going on with this? This car was towed in, got about 100,000 miles on it. Car was towed in because it wasn't moving that great. The client was afraid to drive it. When it started acting up, they didn't even drive it probably for a couple of weeks, and it eventually made its way here. So we did a scan. Fortunately, the codes are not written down here, but I scanned it just to see what was going on briefly, and then I usually hand it off to the manager and he takes over from there. But I like to kind of get my hands on these ZF units just so I can see exactly what's going on. But we had like gear ratio error with the A clutch, gear ratio error with the C clutch, just a bunch of gear ratio codes. So, you know, I was thinking right off the bat, because this also has a conventional shifter, I said to the manager, it's got some gear ratio codes. I said it more than likely may be a broken bridge seal. So all right, so we'll get it in. We got to check it out still. Actually delayed real bad in reverse. It stopped moving when it got hot. So, you know, it really wasn't working that great. But again, one of the standard procedures that we do other than the scan is we like to check the fluid level. So we get it in, we take the cover down. The whole bottom cover is filled with fluid. So we trace it to a problem with one of the cooler lines that we fixed. And, you know, we kind of called them and told them what was going on. And we said, you know, if you want, we can fix the line, we can fill it, and you can try it out. But, you know, actually, I'm getting ahead of myself here. I did look at I wanted to look at the clutch fill times, and it's similar, I believe, to the BMW clutch fill times, which I'm used to looking at. But when I was looking at the clutch fill times for the Jaguar, it would say, for instance, like clutch E, it would say clutch E 3/4 shift adaptation or fill time, and you know they're represented by a number, and the number was probably a little over 400, and anything to me at 450 or better, the clutch is 50% worn out. It's really not that great. 750 is the max. And it said total adaptions, you know, like 12,000, and it said that for each one. And they weren't too bad, except for the E-clutch, which, you know, was kind of normal. So, you know, I mentioned to the guy, and I did want to let him know that, because I just wanted to let him know what my findings. And he elected, because it was his wife's car, he said, you know what, I don't want to have any issues. You know, we did run it low on fluid. I don't know how long she was driving it for with it low on fluid, and I didn't really smell anything too bad, but he doesn't want to take any chances, so we fixed the line, we got the tranny out, we can do the overhaul, just get everything back to normal, and then he could take the car and not worry about anything. So that's what we're going to be doing. So basically it was driven, you know, now that we know what's going on, it was driven pretty much low on fluid. So, but still, you know, with 100,000 miles on it, I'm sure we have bushing wear and stuff, and he doesn't want to take any chances, so hey, let's do the transmission. So we got it on the bench, and what I'm going to do now, because I really would like to let this drain, I don't know how much fluid actually is in here since, you know, there was a leak. I'm going to take the back flange off, then I'm just going to drop the pan and take the pan down just so it can kind of drain overnight or get whatever can get out, and then we'll continue in the morning. Actually, what I'm going to do is I have this plug, you know, the check fill plug I have loose. All right, so no really fluids coming out. Not too bad. So I'm going to let this thing drain overnight, and then tomorrow morning we're just going to go ahead and tear this down and see what we find. We may not find too much, but we are going to do, I have my parts already of what I'm going to need. I don't have anything in for the valve body because this thing landed on my bench about an hour ago, and it's just been unbelievably busy here, and I didn't have time to take the pan down to look at the code on the plate to get that on order as well as the solenoid. So I don't have anything yet for the valve body. but I can at least tear it down, clean it, do the bushings, do the drums, and then I can go ahead, even put the whole thing together if I have time over the weekend, and then do the valve. And the converter is on order from Ericsson's. I spoke to him, and I'll probably have that, I don't know, I'm thinking Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So I'm gonna let this thing drain. Again, whatever fluid is left in, and tomorrow we will go ahead and open it up and see what we find. All right, so I will catch up with you guys in the morning. All right, back with you this morning. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do here is I unpeened the flange nut. That is a 12.34 millimeter. Take that out. Okay. Actually got a seal in here that comes in the kit. Alright, now I'm going to flip this around and get the pump bolts out. I broke them all loose already. This is a T27. Alright, I'm going to flip it, and valve body, and we can get the front section out. Okay, so the pan, I just got 2 bolts holding the pan in because I did drain it a little, what fluid was in there. Okay. So now we're going to get the 2 bolts out, and the bolts are all torque 40s. Okay, and not too bad. Okay. So we got ourselves a Gen 1 unit. We got the typical 3 yellow, 3 blue, and 1 black. All right, let's lift this tab up. There we go. These orange seals are no good, they always leak. Alright, we're going to separate the valve body from the case. Also torque 40 bolts. Grit seal, not broken, but not in the best shape. That's going to be changed anyway. Okay. Now we're going to get these sealing sleeves out of here. Giving me a bit of a long time. There we go. Okay. All right. I know I've mentioned this before, but these two, let me get actually a little closer here. Give me 1 second. All right, so the A and the E clutch are fed through here. All right, the A clutch here and the E clutch here. So if you wanted to air check, if you want to drop the valve body out and air check the unit, especially if you're having a problem with the E clutch, you're having a problem in fourth, fifth, and sixth gear, because the E clutch is super common because of the rear stator bushing gets worn out, you would air check through here. That is the E clutch. See if you have a solid air check, see if you sounds like it's leaking. If the bushing's worn out, it definitely will sound like it's leaking. So I just want to let you know through here, E clutch. All right, let me just reposition and we'll go ahead and take the rest of this transmission apart. All right, so I've got the pump bolts out. Gonna gently give it a pry in this area here. The pump came right out, as you can see. So now we'll turn it this way. Right here is the B clutch, and see if we can get this separated. Okay, and then we'll go through this after. Okay, now we got to get the snap ring out. So we have an opening here. We can get a little pry bar in, and up here. So the end is right here. So we're gonna go. We'll go for this section here. Okay. All right. So I got underneath it. So what I did was I ended up using this like I originally did in the corner to knock it up a little bit, and then I got this one in here and twisted it and got it out. Okay. So here is this. Now let's see if we can get this center support out. All right, so we got the D clutch and the rear planet. Okay. And the ring here. Our output speed sensor reads here. Got a bearing in here. Shim goes on there. Okay, so this actually is a bearing race here. The bearing's on the other side. And shim here. Okay, which would go up against this. All right, so the case is stripped. All right, so let me just get organized here, and then we'll go ahead and check out the clutch packs and open up the drums. Open up the pump, I meant. Check the clutch packs and open up the pump. Right here is the D. You know, like I said, I don't think we're going to find too much wrong. We'll see how that E clutch looks. And I'll show you the parts I have, and then we can get I can get started on it. All right, I'll be back in a few. All right, so let's start with the A and the E drum. Checking that out. Here. All right, not too bad. Some of them starting to burn. Yeah, these actually are flaking down a little bit. Okay. All right, and again, you got your 3 rings here. Rear stator bushing rides down here, and that's where it seals the E-apply oil. I always like to check these drums. I mean, this drum obviously is not cracked, but I like to check these drums. You fill it here with oil, and you can block one side, blow into the other side, and just hold it. Make sure you don't see any bubbles or anything. All right, that is the E. Here is the A. Okay, bad. All right, now let's see if we can get this planet out. Right here is the ring, and here that you push in to get it away. All right, so here's the planet, and again, this has to go to a certain spot. So I take a Dremel and I mark it so it goes back in the same way, so the planet will pop right in. All right, that is the A clutch. These bushings here will be changed. Okay, here's the C clutch, and it has these that stick in here, these tabs that stick out. They will come out, but I'm just going to leave them in. To keep the center support from turning, I have a bearing race here. Okay, not bad. That is the C. Now we'll take a look at the B. Okay, this bearing. Don't forget, when you knock that bushing in, you gotta get it down far enough so the lip of this bearing does not hit the bushing. Okay, bad. Let me just get set up. We'll open up the pump, take a look at the valve body, and I guess that's really about it. I'm going to take this shim off the pump here, put that aside. All right, let me just get set up for that. I will be right back. All right, so we'll go ahead and check out the pump. Got my T30 here. We'll get these bolts out very carefully. Okay. Alright, so we're going to leave 2 in. Take the rest out. Okay, this all looks good here. Body gears. Okay, that looks good. So this plate, we got a B052 code. We're gonna get that. Typical Gen 1 solenoids. Here's your input and output speed. Overall, not in that bad a shape. Okay, the Gen 1s, again, I like to do these shift kits. So I'll be getting one of those also. Now I can show you what I have so far. As far as my parts go. Alright, so I couldn't get an exiting friction module, so I got them all individual. These are the B and the C. Here is the E, and the A, and the D clutch. Alright, my door bond bushing kit, and my new pan / filter. And I have my ZF overhaul kit. You know, in the oh, they do give me bolts, okay, because I just finished the 6HP19 and they gave me bolts, and they give you new pump bolts also. So I got the new seals, the whole thing, sealing sleeves. So there is my OE ZF kit. And that's it for this ZF6HP26 out of this '06 Jaguar XJ8. I got my machine heating up, so I'm just going to start or continue taking the drums down, cleaning everything up. I like to do the bushing kit first, and then put the drums together, stack them up, valve body, which I won't be able to do until I get the stuff to that, but at least I can do this pump and the drums. Maybe you can put the unit together and then do the valve body early next week when the converter shows up. Alright guys, so that is all for now on this teardown. I thank you for watching. Have a great day. We'll see you next one.